My name is Teresa Wright Taylor. I was born in Titus County, Mount Pleasant, Texas, and now I reside in Dallas, Texas. Me living in Dallas, Texas, and my sister Sharon living in San Antonio, Texas, we couldn't from afar take care of these houses. So our nephew, Glean Burdon, volunteered. And that is one of the pivotal moments that we felt like we was getting somewhere.
My name is Sharon Wright Davis. I was born in Titus County, Mount Pleasant, Texas, and I reside in San Antonio, Texas. My regret, business-wise, is not being closer. By being in San Antonio, it is an effort to pack up and come down there, but that's my only regret, is not being closer. But other than that, I got my little family there going on, and they include me.
All right, I'm Glean Burdon Jr. I was born in Dallas, Texas. I reside in Pittsburgh, Texas.
I'm Tavaka Grant. I live at 405 Terry Street in Pittsburgh, Texas. I've been here maybe about a week now. In Pittsburgh, it's really not a lot of rental properties. The ones that we do have, mostly people get in them and pretty much stay in them. So we don't have a lot, to look for when we do get ready to look. We really have to kind of go out of town, unless you know someone. And that's kind of how this was with me. I needed a place to stay. I knew JR, so I got in contact with him, and he got in contact with his aunt, Teresa, and it went from there.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Parnell. I live in Pittsburgh, Texas. I've known one person, I think, that rented from Miss Tibba and Mr. Arvis. It was Annie Mae Wright Gilmore, I think, is her married name. But she rented the house here on Martin Luther King Avenue. And she seemed to like it, and the house was nice. So and she always said that they were good people, and they were church members as well. So they've been knowing me all my life. I came to Pittsburgh with my grandmother, which I was reared by, I was 10 months old. So I'm 65 now, and I've been knowing them for at least 60 years. As far as their housing and how they keep their houses up, different ones that I heard talk about it said that they were good landlords. They try to work with the community to help people instead of trying to, get pennies for themselves. Both Miss Tibba used to cook and feed almost the whole community if they needed to be fed, and even housed. She and Mr. Arvis both just worked hard. I think she was a stay-home mom, and but being a stay-home mom, she worked out. She had a garden, and you could come and pick peas and greens out from her garden. I mean, she wasn't gonna pick them for you, but you was more than welcome to come and pick peas and greens and tomatoes and onions or whatever she had planted. The community was welcome to them. Mr. Arvis used to bush hog, certain pastures for people, and I want to say, I know he had a tractor, so I'm pretty sure he probably tilled up the ground, for people that have small gardens or big gardens or whatever. So, plus he worked at Lone Star Steel.
My name is Arvis Wright, and I'm 85 years old. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, Texas. I'm at Elizabeth Asbury. I forgot what year. 1955. We got married 1957. And I started renting houses soon before I retired from Lone Star Steel. I forget what year. We started with 2 houses. The house we purchased the land from Henry Nelson. And then we fixed the houses up best we could. Then we rented them out.
Well, I became landlord and Sharon became landlord in 2014. Daddy was getting up in age, and so there were so many houses that needed to be tended to, and plus the upkeep and the care of the houses was dwindling. So that's when we took over.
And I like the job. I like to see the people when they get in the house and actually be happy. You know, it's a lot of good people that need houses. And in this area, it's a lot of houses that are not up to par where, you know, people are comfortable. So just seeing people in comfortability is my best moment.
Because we had somebody that lived here that knew the people and knew how to socialize with them, because he's a very good speaker and he's very much is a people person. So
Yes.
having that aspect, and he was good with numbers. Very
Oh
good
my
with
goodness.
numbers.
And still is.
And
He's
and
very
so
good with numbers.
that has
And we
helped
are so
grow the
thankful for him.
business. That has really helped grow the business.
About not being able to do it without Teresa. That's the most challenging. Just like she said, being in San Antonio and she in Dallas, and being able to find reliable providers for our dad in Pittsburgh, Texas, and keeping up the rent houses. That's challenging.
The most challenging part for me is when we have to evict someone. And Sharon, JR, Glenn, and I, we try to be fair to everybody. But somebody's losing. Somebody's not having a home that they can call their home. But we always try to be fair. We always give people chances. We give them deadlines and things like that, and they don't follow through. It can be very frustrating and also very sad. So that's the most challenging part for me.
The most challenging part to me is, I mean, it's like I look at everybody as equal, and I have the kindest heart. I kind of let people slide and get away with stuff, but I'm working on that. And it's like it's hard to like people you grow up with and know and have to deal with on a daily basis in this area staying here. It's hard to like really just tell them no. Like I mean, I recently had to do it and I dealt with it, you know. But you
It's
know,
hard.
it's hard. But the show must go on. Basically, half of the time I don't even want to go into people's houses. I'm putting on masks, shields, gloves. I'm coming in with one of those suits. Like what are those suits called?
Hat man.
The hazmat suit.
Hazmat.
It's like I mean, because a lot of people are not taking it serious. We have people still partying, running around with no mask on. It's a lot. So it's that's I mean the COVID-19 has made the business a little bit scarier because you don't know what that person is doing. So we try to jump with modern day technology like Cash App for paying your rent, just stuff where it's no touch relationship like.
Involved. The tenants, they were on board with it, but there's some, as JR can tell you, that have been older that they say, I can write a check and deliver it to Arvis Wright house. But that's one of the things we're trying to keep our fathers safe. They cannot deliver here anymore because of this pandemic.
So that's also the most challenging is trying to make the ones that are stuck in their ways jump to modern day
Change.
technology. You know, it's kind of that's a challenge.
The rewarding part is carrying on our family legacy. Mom and dad, um, I was a little girl when they started buying 2 houses. Then there came 3, and then there came 4. And so they got all these houses, and the main reason that they started this family business is because they wanted to help people, especially single black women that had children. Because in this rural part of Texas, there weren't many opportunities for good housing for single women
Black
with
people.
children and black single women with children. But we have evolved, and so it doesn't matter what racial line that needs our houses. We rent. We rent to anybody. But that was the beginning of it because the housing authority here in this small town did not want to help these black women that were single that had children and fair housing. And so carrying on our family legacy is one point, but also evolving. And everybody around in town, they know that we're good landlords. We got a good manager here. We will hear from you, but we also want to be real with the people and say we see this, we see that, and so basically,
I mean, I really don't even think. I just do it. It's like I'm trying to figure out solutions before we get problems. So it's basically like, I mean, being a property manager now is something I do without even thinking about it. So it's kind of like, it's just problem solution, you know? Basically, that's how I balance them. I'll be like, even at work, if I find a problem, I'm trying to calculate and figure out a solution. So, I mean, it's easy to balance. It's just time consuming.
the houses belong to the 3 surviving children of Elizabeth Asbury Wright and Arvis Wright. And so all 3 of us, our sister is not here, Cynthia Burdon, she is part of this legacy as well. And I like the way that our parent did their will, and that they include their grandchildren in the will. So after us, our grandchildren, including you, Sharon's children, and my sister's son here, JR, is all in the family. My sister's son
His
here and
kids.
his 2 brothers are part of that will. And so after us, it goes to you guys. And I hope that Sharon and I are setting a good example of how to run the family business. Who is JR and Terry, they are here and they see what we go through. And so it's up to them to enlighten the others. Because you have Amanda and Josh, you have Gerald and Garrett, and you 2. They are the next in line.
See, one of the things that Teresa and I work well together is because there is one chef, one cook, if you will, meaning that she manages the finances. I feel like if we both was managing the finances, something would come up short. Therefore, one person manage the finances, but there is still a check and balance. I have my name all over everything of what Teresa does, the bank accounts, the taxes, and the stuff like that. Therefore, it's an open communication. There's no
hidden agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, the vision is what you see. I hope, eventually we grow to doing more than just rent houses, Like, it's a lot of things we can do, like, as a family, like we used to do. Like, Aunt Teresa cooks very well. I mean, we can get those.
What about me?
You in Santana, I can't eat your food right now.
I don't cook well, but it's okay.
No, you do cook well. You cook well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And it's just like,
Otherwise,
No, because Charity, she told me about that pasta I tried to cook one time. That pasta and chicken, it was overcooked and it wasn't good. So
I mean, you cook well. I mean, just like you might cook for people with tougher jaws. But in reality, like
don't miss a meal.
Okay.
No,
It's
we
a
don't.
lot of
We both
legacy
know.
that like we can continue, going. Like Granny used to sell food and stuff, everything. I mean, when it's COVID, yeah, candy house. When it's COVID stuff go down, like the future. I just look at it like, what can we do to grow and make sure everybody is involved.
In this little business, once it start prospering, better, because it is, then you can start putting aside for the future. Right now, we're in.
I think that what I vision is that the technology. Me and Sharon is old school. The technology of the young people in the family would come into play, and the advancement that they can see that Sharon and I can't see, it'll be a reality for them. Because computer, electronics, all that stuff. I mean, Sharon and I, we survive with it. We do tips of that and spreadsheets and little things like that.
That's right. Office writer.
Wow.
Excel.
Wow to these two because they are technological advanced. I'm talking about you, Sharon. I mean, you, Terry, and Jr. They both all offer to technology. They can take this business from where we are today and do a futuristic module and show people. So it had. I could see it being advanced with them heading it.
After I got in age, I just couldn't handle it anymore, and I let my daughter have it. Take the houses, one from Henry Nelson, and the other one was from Olin Jackson. There we did a lot of work on them.